First thing I feel, I hear chipping from the egg close to my own broken shell. A pointed beak bursts through. There is more chipping, and I see a tiny pale head. A chick struggles out of its shell, and then another. They are my brother and sister. Here, as I said, there is a windharbour by name Kestrel, and that Kestrel is telling the story. And it is telling when I open my eyes, when I stretch my wings, I can feel only the wind around me. That is what it is explaining. And next, what it is telling, when I am in the nest, I can hear the chipping. Chipping is just coming out of that shell, that chipping shell noise beside me. So it is telling that the windharbour kestrel, that chipping of the shell which comes out might be my brother and sister. That is what I am feeling. And the brother or sister which comes out is having a pale head. The pale is a light color. When the red color words are there, kindly look into the book downwards where the meanings are given, children. So the pale head is visible, chipping is given there, the meaning is breaking or tapping the shell of the egg. And then the pointed beak will come out. They are struggling to come out, the small brothers or sisters of mine. That is what it has been told now. Next line. Our mother and father bring us mice as fast as they can catch them. We eat them and grow fast, but I grow the fastest. See how this kestrel is telling? My mother bird will go out and bring the mice or the mouse, which is a singular, mice is a plural. She brings the food for us, and we, along with the brother or sisters, everybody will have that meal, and they all grow, but I grow very fast than them. Again, further, we live in a hole in the wall of a school. See, where do our nest is? Our nest is in the school wall. In that, we have a hole and we have made a nest inside. Remember? And connected to the science chapter, birds, children, where we learned all the nests, different kinds of them. So kindly all that you have to recall once I am reading this particular chapter. Then we stretch our wings and flap. Flapping is moving up and down the wings, just like our parents do. See, though we are very small, though we are very young, we are learning from our parents. That is what Kestrel Windhover is telling, how we have to flap our wings, how we have to fly in the sky. All these we are learning. It is telling. Then what happens? The children on the playground are now looking up and pointing at us. They are saying, look at that baby windhowers. Look at that fluffy feathers. See here, you can see the school children just like how Mithun SD and others are wearing the green uniform. No, here also the green uniform. The children are there and they are pointing here towards the sky and showing to each other that windhover is there. So this is the school wall where the hole is there. Yes, and here is the bird's nest. And the school children are pointing towards the bird's nest and the bird will hover. Next, what happens? These school children are very excited and happy to see the nest of the bird and the birds itself flying in the sky in their own school ground. Look at that baby windhowers. Look at that fluffy feathers. How soft and spongy their feathers are. Look at them. The school children are telling each other. One evening after the school, I hear a sound of footsteps coming towards us. We shuffle to the back of the roost. We see a dark shape over us and we screech, Kiki, this is not our mother or father. Now, at the evening time, one person is slowly coming towards the nest, towards the hole which is there in the wall of the school. And that kestrel bird is telling, this is not the footstep of a mother or father. This is somebody else. The kestrel is telling. It is very clever. Okay. And you have to keep seeing the red color words meaning this. Shuffle is the walking slowly without lifting. And roost is a place where the birds usually take rest. Next para, the last one. This creature does not smell like a bird. I peck at it and strike with my claws. The creature makes a strange noise and holds me tight. I am bundled into a sack and taken from my home. Now, here, what is this Wildhauer Kestrel is telling? That the person who is coming near to me, near to our home nest, is not our father or mother, first thing. Second important thing, what it is observing, that it is not smelling just like how we smell birds. It is not our smell, it is somebody else's smell. And suddenly, what happens? It comes near that creature and holds it tight. Oh, this baby will have a kestrel. It holds it tight and puts in a sack. What is a sack? It's a gunny bag which usually we bring to our house provisions, no grocery item, the big gunny bag like that. The sack, this creature, this person actually, but here the bird is calling the person as creature. So that creature comes and brings the sack and puts it in the sack and takes away. What happens next? We will see. I try to fly but crash into strong bars and fall in a cloud of feathers. Where is my home? Where are my parents? My brother and sister? Where is the sky? Again and again, I throw myself against the bars and fall. Now, what happens here? This particular creature or a person who you will see later, who is that person? He will put that bird in the sack, he ties it and brings out of the nest, far away from the nest. Now, after it opens the sack, the bag, the inside the sack, it will be very dark. There will be no natural light, is it not? So once the sack is opened, the bird will open the eyes with a lot of light, and then it sees somebody is there who is not resembling the father or mother of kestrel, and smelling also is different from bird. And where am I? He is in the cage, bird's cage, my God. And the bars are there in the cage, children. And what this poor fellow will do? He tries to open the cage with its wings and feet and body, but it's unable to do. He is every time trying to come out of the cage, and every time it falls the cage inside on the level of the cage. Now, what it does? It is having the removal of feathers also due to the opening of cage and is unable to do, and that fall has made the kestrel to get away all that feathers also falling in the cage. And now he's asking, where are my parents, where are my brother and sister, and where am I landed, what is it going on? He's questioning. Now, then I hear, I'm continuing looking to the book, then I hear a voice say, I want you just for myself, my friend. See, now Kestrel is hearing, there is one voice called, I want you to be only my friend, is from the school. Okay, the school boy has stolen the bird, and this bird is telling and speaking that if the food is brought to him and that food is not torn into pieces, small pieces which the birds can have in their beak and eat, how can it eat if you be given the big chapati? Can you eat like that? The big chapati? No, right? You have to tear it into pieces and then you have to eat it slowly. Just like that, the bird also requires, other animals also require to be torn into small pieces and then given to the birds or animals. And this kestrel is telling that the bird has been given the big chunk of food and it is not torn into small pieces, then how will I eat? How will I become strong? I will become thin. I'll become very weak. See, now the boy will take out that bird from the cage, okay, and it will cover the head of the windhover kestrel and it will tie the feet. How bad or cruel, no? This boy will cover the head and the feet and takes out in the open ground, school ground. And that moment, this poor bird is feeling the wind flowing towards the feathers, the body. But it tries to open the feet, the wings, but he's unable to do. Why? Because it is tied. Now, if anybody will tie your hand and your leg, how helpless you feel? you feel very bad, right? You feel like breaking it open. Just like that, the birds who are naturally in the sky flying is very helpless. Nobody is there to help that poor bird baby. Now, what is it does? There is one girl who comes there in search of the act, what is happening there, and she says, "Hey, what are you doing, boy?" And she says, very angry, "This is our windhover. Who has taken it? Why have you taken it?" She questions. After it brings out the bird, the boy, after the bird will hear the voice of the girl. The bird is recalling, "Hey, that voice of that girl I have heard somewhere. She used to bring me food, to my brother and sister food every evening. I am very familiar with that voice." And he is recalling. Who? The windhover, the kestrel is recalling. Now she says, "You leave that windhover better, boy." She is warning the boy. And he says, "You leave me alone, girl. You don't trouble me more." This boy is shouting back to that girl. Now, next, what happens? They are talking with each other. The boy, the girl are from the same school now. Okay. The boy has stolen the bird. He is doing all this action with the bird, which is very unkind. And this girl is trying to tell that, "I used to feed the bird daily, and you have brought the bird from out of the nest. Why are you troubling? Leave him alone." And this boy is telling, "No, no, I want to be friend with him. Okay, and I will not leave him." And this girl is recalling, the bird used to be very fat and fluffy. He has become so weak and thin. What happened? Is she telling. And she's also telling, it is a wild bird, and wild birds cannot be the pets. It has to be free, it has to be on its own. It's a wild bird, understand? She's trying to tell that boy, and this boy is not at all understanding. Now, what happens? The story is ended is, now, once the girl warns the boy that if you are leaving the wild bird kestrel back to its home, I will not tell anybody. Hey boy, I will not tell teachers, principal, or your parents. Mind you, we are studying in the same school. So you better leave the bird. Otherwise, I'll tell everybody. This boy gets scared. Okay, fine. I will leave the bird, he says. And then what happens? After the girl tells him, warns him, the boy will let the bird loose. He will untie the feet and removes the cover from the head and leaves inside the nest of its kestrel. Now kestrel's brothers and sisters are there. They are not recognizing properly. They are doing what? The hiss at me. Look at the meaning there. What is hiss at me? Make an angry noise to chase me away. Okay, that is what. Because the brothers and sisters were in the shell, right? Eggshell when this kestrel was there. And slowly when it was chipping only, it went away. This boy stole. So these babies, brothers and sisters couldn't recognize the brother kestrel. So they're chasing them away. But mothers and fathers can't do that. No, mothers and fathers remember very well their own kids. So this mother went flying from up and came down to feed all the children, including the kestrel. But poor mother didn't know when the kestrel went out of the nest, when it came, poor thing, because she was in search of food. So now this kestrel is telling, "It's okay, I am Kiki. It is making a noise there. I'm a brother." That is what it is telling kestrel. And mother is also happy. Even more happy was this windhover kestrel, that thank God I am in the nest and I'm safe again. That is what is the title.